Hello and welcome to one more edition of Prologue. As you know, a prologue in a play or in a story or in a book, it sets stage to the events, the backstory of the events that took place, which leads to the main story or the main event. Same way, here in Prologue, we delve deeper into the great minds of philosophers, entrepreneurs, businessmen, thinkers, founders, and that is what we are here today. We are here today with one of my good friends and a powerful lady from Lebanon, Aline Bagdoyan. She is a formidable force in Lebanon, in Beirut. She's been in the freight forwarding industry for a long time now. And without much ado, I will let Aline introduce herself and then let us ask her questions to dig deeper into her mind, into her thoughts. Aline.
Ganga, how are you? Thank you first
you.
for this interview, let's say, or the good things that we're gonna discuss today. It's my pleasure first, and thank you for your nice words. I'm embarrassed actually. Go ahead.
So,
what are your questions?
Aline, we would just like to know that you are you're owning your own business, you are running a global business, and you are always on the move, attending different seminars, forums, expositions, exhibitions, conferences, etc. But what made you what you are today? Like, what led to the different incidents where now you decided that this is the time, I'm tired of working for someone, I want to start something on my own? Let us hear that story.
I will give you one word: self-confidence. That's what made me. Of course, I started in a very young age in freight forwarding industry, and after some time and having the whole experience and knowing myself that I can do it, and of course with the support of the surroundings, the family, the feedback I can see from customers, it made me to do that step and go for my own. That's the main point. And thanks God, of course, like every business, at the first stage, you have some obstacles, you have some problems, but then you say to yourself that it was a good move.
Excellent. So when you say you had your obstacles and challenges, do you have anything fresh in your mind still today, where you learned from the biggest challenge that you had? What was the biggest challenge or obstacle you faced? And how did you overcome that?
Originally, I'm a shy person, okay? So with all the expansions I have and the travelings that I forced myself actually. Sometimes I used to do things that I'm not used to do it and I'm shy to do it. But that was a big challenge for me. But I overcome that. Now I can move forward. I can challenge everything or face everything easily. You reach to a maturity. But that was, personally speaking, that was my biggest obstacle, because our industry needs, you don't need to be shy. You have to be just struggling all the time, facing things, moving forwards and moving fast. So thank God, again, I had that challenge and I overcome that. And now I can go anywhere.
So, Ellen, I know you for almost, I think, 15, 17 years now. And it's been a long time. And I also know it for a fact that, and this comes back to the time when you started your business, okay? I know for a fact that your business is exactly as old as your children. So I'm assuming when you had the kids, they were not yet born, the business was probably born along with them. How did you manage with small children in hand and running an enterprise of your own? That is really, really, that's why I call you a brave woman in the beginning. So this has to be a story which inspires others.
Well, actually, when I started my own company, after a couple of months, I got to know that I'm pregnant. So it was like, oh my God, double trouble. and even triple trouble because I have a twin boys.
Oh, wow.
So it was a triple trouble, triple trouble. But yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult. But I had the support of everybody around me, from the family, from the co-workers. Everybody was supporting me. I was on off. I was not 100% productive first, let's say, first or second year. But then I had settled everything, and yeah, doing both things parallel, it needs the courage. Especially, you know, some emotional changes, some changes in routine, coming from an employee to an owner and a leader at some point. So you have to guide everybody around, and you have two twin kids, so two boys. So it was really hard, but I overcome.
Tough. That must have been really tough.
That made me stronger even.
I can totally imagine, or maybe I cannot imagine the hardships you must have gone through managing both house, kids, and as well as your business, where you have to take decisions. But you know, that makes you stronger for sure. But I'm pretty sure you, as you mentioned, your co-workers, so you have a team. What made you, and how would you select your team? What was the main criteria when you had a team who you know you can trust and will take care of?
Trustworthy.
So these were people whom you already knew, or people from the industry?
No, people I already knew. I trust them because, you know, in our industry, nobody borns knowing shipping. It's all about experience.
True.
And I was pretty sure, even if they don't know in the industry, I can, in 1 year, 2 years, I can train them, and they can know everything. So the most important thing is that you can trust and you have a full confidence on the people, because, you know, in our industry, we see a lot people change from one company to another. They learn from here, they take and they leave. This is really hard to imagine.
Very hard,
and
very
at the
true.
same time, you cannot. I mean, sometimes also the companies are not treating well. That's something else. So you cannot say that the employees are the wrong in this point, but the trust is very important.
So trust is fine, but in your case, it's a different scenario. I believe would have been like, you trust a person, but now you say, if they're not from the industry but a trustworthy person, and they have to take a decision, you have to give them, you have to empower them, and you were already at a crossroad where you are already taking care of your children who actually needed you that time, and a baby company which also needed you. So how did you motivate your team at that time? How did you keep them motivated? How did you be self-motivated also?
I was on top of everything. I know there are things that I have to decide. They had to come back to me. So I was always, I can say 24 hours I was working. I had a little sleep at this period to follow everything, because I'm some kind of person. I'm picky. Okay, so I check into all the details and everything. So it was hardworking. It was hardworking time, but at the same time I was giving the right to a certain limit to the employee to take their own decisions and be responsible on their decisions to a certain limit. Of course, there were things they could not keep it on themselves. They have to share it and they have to take my decision. But minor things that can daily work, I gave them the permission or the authority to take their decisions. But at the same time, to think twice and to be responsible on that decision.
Wow, that is quite a big takeaway. And it being a first-time business person, I'm assuming this was your first business venture, right? As you mentioned.
Yes.
So to have that level of maturity, because when people start, they want to have everything in their hand, but you were empowering your people. This was super. But okay, now, so you have a business, you have a team. What about customers? Like, how did you find your first customers? Were they people who promised you, but then they said, oh, you are new, we cannot come with you, then they backed out? What was the challenge?
No, at that time, the customers that they knew me and how I work, so they followed me. Of course, some of them they didn't, which is fine. I found new customers because you know, when you know the business and you go to a meeting to any customer, and you give them the hints of what you have done and what you can do, so you gain the trust. Again, it's the trust. So customers, they trusted you, and then they give it a try. They ask for a quotation and the follow-up and the service, and if everything goes well, and now I don't need to do sales, or I don't need to go to customers, because everybody tells the others, you know, the what do they call it? The
word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what, this is what I'm proud of myself, that I don't need to go to do some sales. Of course, if I have the time, I would love to do it, but it's a bit difficult.
Beautiful. Let's switch a little bit. Now, you obviously have your office, your team, everything there. You are traveling, then but you still keep in touch with what is happening in the office. How about how do you keep in touch with the technology that keeps changing all the time? When do you decide, now I have to change the systems, put a new system in my office, etc.? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah. I always try to update. Like, I'm always looking for a new softwares. I'm always interested to see what's going around. At least in a year, I have 2, 3, 4 companies that I see the demo of new applications, the new software, to see how can I upgrade what we have. Sometimes I feel like, no, let me be at the old school and stay what I have, to avoid this. I'm always worried about the transition period when you are changing something. So you have to plan it well. You have to know the risks and move on that basis. So besides that, this is the software thing that I'm a bit old-fashioned, old school. I don't like to change more often or add things. As long as the work is being done properly, I'm keeping the data. I have everything in my hands, so I'm fine. The rest of the technologies, for the daily, the phones and etc., I'm always updated.
That's beautiful. Very well put as well.
I have my nephew. He's an expert in technology. So whenever I hear something, just ask him.
So you have an in-house IT person now, huh?
In-house, yes, exactly.
That's true. So when you travel, you see the way people operate, you have ideas, then you come across a lot of opportunities. So there may be a lot of ideas, lot of opportunities. Even there may be new business ideas which people may put in your head. Let's do this together. So how do you prioritize? What makes you go behind an idea? Is it the numbers or the person behind it? Like, if it's somebody brings the idea,
it's the idea itself. After being in contact with diversified people for so long time, you reach to a maturity to understand, because some people come like, we have this and we have that and we can do this. I can read from the eyes whether this is something tangible, it's gonna be tangible, explained, or I don't know, translated into real business.
Fair.
Then I can follow it up, because I don't look for the amount, I look for the business, because when the business is there and it's running good, then the money will come eventually.
That is so true. And it is really nice chatting with you. I have a lot of questions to ask, but for the sake of time, we need to keep it short. So before we end this, I want you to have the last word. And the last question I'm going to ask you is going to be an inspiration for other business persons. Especially you being a lady, not many ladies in this profession, so it is already tough. But if you were to describe or give an inspirational quote or a line or a statement or any book that inspired you, what is a word of advice you will give to any new budding entrepreneur, any new business person?
Well, if any person that are looking for something challenging, something out of routine, they want to go into international level and communicate with diversified people and know about other cultures, this needs a lot of hard work. If somebody is open for that, logistics or freight forwarding is the best industry. And this is what kept me continuing in this business, because if you don't, if you like, I mean, I'm somebody that I don't like a routine. Okay. So if something becomes a routine, then this is the only business that, or maybe rare businesses that we don't have routine. Even each shipment has its own way, has its own things. You got to know so many people. So in short, if somebody is in this industry, somebody has to be, the people, the person has to be enthusiastic and passionate.
Super.
If they have this, they do things, then definitely they will be successful. If they don't, they will never ever succeed.
That is an amazing takeaway. So, guys, friends, this was Aline Bagdoyan from Beirut, Lebanon, and this was brought to you by PROLOGUE from Professional Logistics Network, which is an award-winning network. See you in the next episode. Thank you, Aline.
Thank you, Ganga. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.